I love the beauty of the practice.
Yeah.
Kashyapasana, when you're lying down with your leg behind your head, and my head's right down, and it's because my body loves it. I'm 72 now, I'm 73 in just a few weeks' time. My philosophy is accept and surrender as you grow older. Ashtanga isn't for everyone, but it is for me.
Do you think Ashtanga Yoga has given you a greater tolerance for pain in your body? A lot of people associate Ashtanga with pain, and yet you also mentioned there's a pleasure in it too. Like the body is happy sometimes in these postures that look painful. There's actually a pleasure in it, which maybe you can talk about that as well. Like, how has Ashtanga changed or helped you better understand your relationship to pleasure and pain?
It's just helped me to accept what is and relax. I was practicing on the beach over at Rocco, and there's like a little cave area, and when the tide's out, you can actually go in there. Wow. And I just used to go in there and do my poses. I had a couple of people approach me and say, you should go to Lino. I went to meet Lino, and I sort of thought I was really quite nervous. I said to him, I think I'm too old. He said to me, how old are you, Maggie? So I said to him, I'm 52. He said, I am the same. He said, if I can do, you can do. And there I was on the mat with Lena.
And you're still practicing 20 years into this practice. I still see you putting your legs behind your head. It's an inspiration for a lot of people who are so scared of challenging their bodies, even in their 50s, even in their 40s. Like, there's a fear of, could I hurt my body doing this?
I've always surrendered to what is in life. I've had quite a lot of hard times, and I've had a lot of joyful times, but I live in the moment. I mean, I am a forward-looking person. I'm an Aquarian, but I accept and surrender to what is. But I really feel, don't just sit in a chair. And I've got a great story. It was at the time of the tsunami. Everybody was told to get up high, away from the beach.
Wow.
So we were all sitting up in the German bakery, and we were chattering about this, that, and the other. And the sea just started to go out. It was just like it was being sucked out into the ocean. And one of the guys said to me, what do you think, Maggie? How do you feel if we all died today? And I said, well, I had a good practice. I didn't even any farther than that. Anyway, about 5-10 minutes later, the sea just seeped back in.
Wow.
No big wave, nothing.
What?
It just came back in. My introduction to yoga was when I had my first daughter, Ruth. I was only 20, and she was breech birth. When she came out, she had her legs up there. She was holding on to them like you would do in Mukha Paschimottanasana.
It was extremely painful.
Well, totally. And
very dangerous.
Yeah, I had to have the injection in my spine in the end. And when I was breastfeeding her, I used to sit and watch the TV. And this guy came on the screen teaching yoga. And I thought, that's what I need to do. Because if I have another breech birth, I'm not going to go through what I've just been through. When I saw Iyengar yoga, I knew that's what I wanted to do. For correct alignment, a correct movement of the body. And I met BKS Iyengar. I wouldn't have been able to afford to come to Pune, but many of his family came to England, and I was fortunate enough to practice with them. They're amazing people. But I was always looking for something to link the asanas together.
Because Iyengar doesn't really focus on that, right?
That's right. And there's a lot of stopping and starting, and people standing around in a group watching what's happening. Then one day Margot Fontaine was doing a program on the TV all about dance, and she opened it with people practicing Tai Chi in the park in China. So I had to search high and low, because where I live in Cornwall is in the depths of the country, and at that time, people hadn't heard of Tai Chi. I managed to find a very old lady, and she taught me. So when I was just on my own, I would do the asana mixed with the Tai Chi.
Oh wow! Okay.
So that it was moving that energy into the poses. When I was teaching in the Iyengar way.
Right.
But
in your own practice, you were already starting to look for vinyasa. You
yes,
were looking for
but I didn't know about it till I came here.
So, you've been coming here for 20 years,
Yes.
And you even came here before you found Ashtanga, which is fascinating, because I just assumed you started coming to Kovalam for Ashtanga, but in fact, you were practicing on the beach in a cave, and someone recommended you go take an Ashtanga class. How beautiful is that?
That's right.
It's like,
yeah.
So tell me what drew you to India, and why is it important for you to keep coming back to India all these years?
Mother Teresa. I'm a Catholic.
Yes.
And right from being a very young girl, I always wanted to feel that I was worthy of working with somebody like Mother Teresa. I've been married twice, and my second marriage, we started coming out here together, and I wanted to work for charity. And he said, "Oh, you're all about yoga, or you're all about charity, blah, blah, blah." And anyway, we eventually got divorced and sold our house. The first year I came back here on my own, I was straight there. 5 different orphanages in this area for women and girls who are mentally and physically, or one or the other, challenged, many deformed.
Wow.
In different ways.
Just kind of support the nuns and be there as like a moral support to the women?
No, I went with food. And I'd take sacks of vegetables and onions and rice and everything. Yeah. I used to buy sheets for the beds.
Yeah.
I'd take towels. One orphanage I focused on sanitary ware.
And just to bring this back to Ashtanga, like, it sounds to me that service then was a big call for you, and as such an integral part of being a yogini. Do you see that in the Ashtanga community today? Like, do you see that integrated? And what could we do to maybe bring out more of that spirit, do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people who come to the practice have just come to have some time out for themselves. But for me, it was instilled from being a young child, this thing about Mother Teresa, and what goodness she brought into the world. I mean, she had a lot of people against her and trying to stir up trouble and stuff like that. And it was this lady looking after people in end stages of life. Absolutely awesome. After I'd had my knee surgery, I did have a bit of ambition, and I just wanted to get back to Durvasana. Because you're standing there with your leg behind your head and your hands together in prayer.
Yes.
And I was always able to do that right from the word go. You get a feeling in your body, a real spiritual feeling, to be able to stand up from nothing. I may only have one leg, but I can still stand up and pray.
Yes.
I mean, I was just saying about Durvasana being a real spiritual experience, and every asana has something. But with Ashtanga Yoga, I think it's the breathing and the blood flow, so that you're sending freshly oxygenated blood to all the vital organs around your body in different ways through different asanas. And through the continual movement, you start your practice with the Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath, and you finish on that. I actually had a bad adjustment in Triangmukha Ekapadapasana Uttanasana.
Which, for those who don't know, is in the primary series where you bend one knee and your ankle comes by your hip and you fold over the other straight leg.
Yes.
Okay, what happened?
The shala was absolutely packed, and there were a lot of adjusters going around, and a girl came up behind me. I don't know whether she was experienced or not. She was bang on my knee and pushed it down farther. After 2 weeks, my knee was like a football. And Lino came over to me and he says, Maggie, hospital. You have to go to the hospital. So I went to Kim's Hospital, which is the Kerala Institute of Medical Science. Absolute top notch. Did x-rays. And he said to me, that knee needs to be replaced. You have severe osteoarthritis. And he said, and most likely your other knee as well.
Wow.
The adjustment was just a trigger. He said, go back to your own country and see your own doctor and see what they say. And he agreed. He said, yes, you need 2 knee replacements.
Wow.
Are you ready? And I said, no. And I wasn't. I said, I needed the time.
Okay, so you continued to practice.
Yes.
You said, I'm not stopping my practice.
No.
And so you just modified your practice in a really big way? Or?
Yeah, modified.
Okay.
I worked around it, but I didn't do triamorphine or anything that I knew would
trigger the knee to swell again.
Because I've got this real belief that you keep your body moving. You know, you keep the blood flowing in the right direction. You let your body know that it's okay. I'm not just going to say, no, that's finished.
Right.
I just kept on with my continual movement. And I always say that to people, keep moving, even if it's just a small movement, but don't overdo it.
Right.
With our asana practice, we are given the asana once we've achieved the one before. And that's what I like about it. And
so you like the repetition? Is that what I'm hearing? You like the kind of study of the same material?
That's right.
Okay.
And giving your body that time to learn it.
Right.
And slowly, listen to your body. And your body will guide you where you can go. I think ease is the operative word. To ease, if you're an adjuster, to ease somebody's body into a pose. And if you're doing your own practice, listen to it and ease it into the pose. Force isn't going to work. If it's a strong pose, then you've got to use a slightly different breath. You know, if you're going to handstand or something like that. But even if you can't do a headstand, you can do a half headstand.
Right.
By just taking position, put your head down, walk your feet in. Till your hips are high. You remain there.
Yes.
You're getting it coming to your brain.
Yes.
So you don't have to be a really young person.
Right.
To do that, it's actually quite easy.
Right.
You could even do it against the wall where your back goes onto the wall, but your feet don't lift, so there's no fear.
We can all find that. No matter what level of practice you're at in terms of postural practice, whether you're just starting or you're advanced, like you can find that ease in a posture.
Yeah.
And that's maybe a really nice thing to think about, like finding that ease, not necessarily finding a fancy posture, but finding that ease in the experience.
Yeah, and also thinking about, because some people, you know, if they're carrying a lot of weight, they say, I'll never be able to do that. And I think never force anything, never push anything, and don't attempt something if you know that your body isn't right for it.
Or isn't ready for it.
Isn't ready for it.
Yeah.
I had my knees done within a week of each other.
Wow.
I had the left knee done one Monday, and the following Monday I had the other one done. 10 weeks later, I was able to teach. I came back to Lino sort of a year later and just did primary and up to Barcelona in second.
Oh, wow.
And then the following year, I moved back to the third again.
Oh my gosh.
And I got as far as Galavasana in the third series. I was off the next pose and I said no. I said, I have enough asanas.
Yes.
And Lino said good girl. He just patted me on the shoulder. And it was just, I just said, I have enough
That's
asana.
enough. Yeah.
I don't
Basta.
Yeah. Lino has said, Maggie, once you're over 70, you do what you want to do.
It's one of the gifts that comes with age.
Yeah, if you don't want that, you know, if you don't want like that asana, leave it out, move on. You've got as far as you You've got to listen to your body,
Yeah.
let go of ambition,
Mm,
do what's appropriate on any given day.
that's it. You don't stop.
That's
You
right.
don't give up, but you also give yourself permission
Yes.
to not have the ambition of achieving more necessarily,
Yeah.
right? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it always seems that if you let go of something, it suddenly comes back. And you think, wow.
Thank you, Maggie.